What's up, guys? I'm back for another review, and today I want to review a movie I didn't have time to review last year in 2023, and that's Godzilla Minus One. It was one of the bigger surprises for me of last year. I wasn't expecting this movie to be what it was. This was a big scale film, and it has a lot of praise to it, and I can see why now. Everything I've been reading online, everyone's saying it's the best Godzilla movie ever made. Is that true? I would personally have to say yes, it is. Out of the previous Godzilla movies, I would say it's the most exciting one. It's got the best budget, and I don't want to really knock the old movies because, you know, their budget constraints aren't their fault, and there's still people who grew up with those and they have that nostalgia feel to them. I'm not the biggest Godzilla fan in the world, so I don't want to speak for everyone else, but for me, I'm not a big fan of the old ones. They're a little outdated for me. They're a little boring. I'm just not into them as much as Godzilla fans, obviously. But I did really like this movie. I thought for once in a Godzilla movie, we actually see characters we care about. They're not just background characters filling in the empty spaces of parts where Godzilla's not on screen. We just have this pointless conversation cycle going, and we don't care half the time. This movie made you care about the people. And one of my favorite things about this film was the way they talk about killing Godzilla. I thought was insanely smart and unique. The writers took a lot of time and care on thinking of this idea because it is very unique. I was all for it. Godzilla looks great on screen, and they actually made him terrifying. And what's great is you are terrified of Godzilla, but you care about the people in the scenes when, you know, he destroys the towns and stuff. It was a good approach for a remake. I personally loved the beginning the most. I thought the opening scene really set the tone for the film. And I was like, okay, if there's more of this coming later, bring it on. I am all in. The opening scene was my favorite part. I also liked the pilot in the movie, how he didn't feel like a hero, and this was his chance to feel like a hero and do something meaningful. Some of my complaints are, I guess I can't relate to it, but I couldn't get behind the fact that that one girl survived the explosion when Godzilla uses his ray to blow up the town. There's no way she could survive. I also don't like the fact that they pushed a child that's not his onto him, but I guess I can't relate because they have a different community there. But for me, I'd be like, this isn't my kid. I can barely take care of myself. I'm not going to take the burden on for another kid. That's something else I didn't like about it. I thought some parts were really slow and they drug out a little too long. But besides those little nitpicks, the film is very strong. And if you are a Godzilla fan, you're going to love it. The best part about this movie is how terrifying Godzilla is. And they put you in these human shoes. The government not wanting to get involved just doesn't line up and make sense to me because we're talking about a huge lizard monster destroying an entire city, and he could do it again. And the government's like, yeah, that's your guys' problem. You take care of it. Those are some of my gripes about it. Those aside, this is a fantastic film. I can see why, if you're a fan of Godzilla, this is a treat for you. And this is probably one of your favorite Godzilla movies of all time. I really like this movie. I think anyone who hasn't seen it that's skeptical about it should give it a shot. You will probably find something you enjoy about it. After finally seeing it, I can see why it has so much praise. It truly is the best Godzilla movie ever made. I'm going to grade Godzilla Minus One a B. Well, that's it for my Godzilla review, guys. I do have more coming up. I'm working very hard on some other reviews. Those are going to be coming out very soon. I will, however, tell you and give you a little hint that one of them is a contender for the Oscars. So stay tuned for that. Hit that subscribe button so you can see what that review is and many more that are on the way. Until then, I'll catch you movie fans on my next review.